France versus Morocco is about to shock the football world. France arrive as one of the overwhelming favourites, stacked with world-class talent in every position.
Because this team and the front end is better than anybody else.
Morocco arrive with something far more dangerous: belief. They've already shattered expectations, silenced doubters, and proven they can eliminate football's biggest giants.
But this team right here, they can beat anybody. They seriously could beat anybody. The quality that these guys have in every position of the pitch speaks for itself.
Now, these two nations are about to collide again, with a place in the World Cup semi-finals on the line. Last time France ended Morocco's dream, this time Morocco believe they can end France's.
This will be the hardest game for France in winning this World Cup.
The football world isn't ready for what's about to happen. France's road here wasn't pretty. Paraguay parked everything behind the ball and dared France to find an answer. And for over an hour, France didn't have one.
Flow of this game was cut off completely with how deep Paraguay were playing and how clogged up the middle of the pitch was. France had a ton of difficulty carving out any kind of chances.
The breakthrough came from a substitute, Désiré Doué, who won a penalty. Mbappé buried without blinking.
Désiré Doué would come on, and his technical ability, his ability to glide past 2 or 3 players in one go, that was a big problem for Paraguay right away, and it led to an even bigger problem for Paraguay as Doué would get taken down in the box. Pretty obvious one, not a lot to debate there, and France would get a penalty.
That's twice now in this tournament where Deschamps has needed his bench to bail out his starters, and twice now it's worked. Here's the stat that should scare everyone else left in this competition. France have ground out 2 last-minute wins in the knockout rounds, first taking 66 minutes to break Senegal, then needing a substitute to win a penalty against Paraguay. They're chasing a 3rd straight World Cup final, something no team has managed in 24 years. Say that number out loud. 24 years. That's not a hot streak, that's a program built to win when it matters. Morocco's road looked different but ended in a similar place, a scoreline that flattered them. Against Canada, they were second best for 45 minutes.
First half was very poor by Morocco. They barely got anything going. The midfield was completely non-existent, and Canada had a great strategy, great game plan.
Canada pressed, created chances, made Morocco look uncomfortable.
There's no way they should have dominated Morocco with the players Morocco have as much as they did in the first half.
Then, Unahi happened. 2 goals. One of them an absolute strike from the edge of the box that left the goalkeeper rooted.
Hakimi, and that was superbly worked!
A low, driven strike straight into the bottom corner for 1-0 Morocco.
Bono, meanwhile, barely had to make a save in the second half because Morocco simply stopped letting Canada anywhere near him. Now, here's where this quarter-final stops being just a football match. Hakimi didn't grow up dreaming of Casablanca stadiums. He grew up in Getafe, just outside Madrid, raised by Moroccan parents who kept that identity alive in him, while Real Madrid's academy built him into one of the best fullbacks on the planet. He could have played for Spain. He chose Morocco. And now he's the one standing between his adopted flag for France, the team that beat his country in the cruelest way possible just 4 years ago. Morocco's belief isn't fragile anymore either. This isn't the fairy tale run from 2022 that nobody saw coming.
Don't look at them as a surprise team, as a dark horses anymore. If you want to talk about contenders, put Morocco as part of the contenders.
Back-to-back World Cup quarterfinals for an African nation has never happened before, not once in the history of this competition.
I just think that the Moroccan Federation, they're making African football so proud with what they are doing.
They're not the plucky underdog story this time. They're a team that expects to be here. So the stakes are simple. Even if nobody wants to say it out loud, for France, anything less than the semi-final is a disappointment, given the talent sitting on that bench. For Morocco, this is the game that decides whether 2022 was lightning in a bottle or the start of something real. But stats and storylines don't win football matches. Let's break down how each team actually wants to play this game. France's attacking blueprint is built around speed and rotation. Mbappé stretches the backline vertically, Dembele works the half spaces, and the midfield keeps shifting positions to create wide overloads that most defenses simply can't track for 90 minutes. It's quick combinations, one-touch passing, and pace in behind, all designed to break a defense before it can reset. Except that's not what happened against Paraguay. France looked sluggish for long stretches, stuck passing sideways in front of a low block that refused to open up.
Yes, France didn't have maybe the best game, but it's impossible to play against a team like that. They refused to play.
It took 70 minutes to find a way through, and even then, it needed a moment of individual brilliance off the bench rather than the system working as designed. So here's the question hanging over this entire match. If Paraguay, a side with a fraction of Morocco's attacking quality, could frustrate France for over an hour sitting deep, what happens when a team with actual counter-attacking teeth does the same thing?
Morocco are clearly a better side. The big question is can Morocco defend in the manner in which Paraguay did? Because that's their staple diet.
Because that's exactly Morocco's plan.
To be threatened, they've yet to be attacked against, and I think Morocco can do it. I think Morocco can, because I think they've got the pieces for it, and I think they've got the midfield for it. So I think this game is not going to be easy for France, and I think Morocco can hurt France in certain ways.
Their backline stays compact, resisting the urge to push up and leave gaps in behind. In front of them, Ayoub Bouadi and Neil El Anoui screen as a double pivot, breaking up passing lanes before France's midfield ever gets moving. Bono commands his box with total calm. Morocco are happy to give up the ball for long stretches if it means striking once, hard on the counter.
They know how to defend, they know how to be patient, and they know how to counterattack and score goals.
And when they do strike, it's fast. Hakimi bombs forward from right back with the kind of speed that used to torment Liga 1 defenders every week for PSG. Brahim Díaz finds the right pass in transition almost every single time, the exact pattern that ripped Canada open in the second half, once Morocco decided to actually play. Here's the complication for Morocco though. Hakimi's been facing off against elite European defenders in the Champions League for years now, which means players like Saliba and Koundé have studied his runs more closely than almost anyone in world football. Familiarity runs both ways in a game like this. There's also the injury cloud hanging over this whole plan. Saibari went down against Canada, and if he's not right for this one, that's a real attacking weapon missing from Morocco's rotation. One less body to relieve the pressure when France start pushing numbers forward. The midfield battle underneath all of this might decide everything. Second balls, loose touches, transitions won and lost in half a second. That's where tempo gets decided in games like this, and both sides have the personnel to win that particular fight. Set pieces could be the tiebreaker if open play stays locked. Morocco scored from a dead ball against Canada, proving they've got the quality on the training ground for exactly these moments. And France have their own aerial threats capable of turning one header into the difference. So, forget the framing most people are using for this game. This isn't France's attack against Morocco's defense. It's two teams who both know how to win ugly when the pretty football isn't working.
So it's not going to be an open game. I don't think so. I think it's going to be very tactical. It might be a lot physical.
But tactics only tell half the story here, because this match carries weight that goes far beyond the 90 minutes on the clock. Mbappe sits one goal behind Messi's all-time World Cup scoring record, chasing a mark that stood for over a decade. That's the individual story. But France doesn't get judged on individual stories. A squad this deep, this talented, gets judged on one thing only: trophies. Anything short of the final gets called a failure, no matter how many records fall along the way. Morocco's pressure works differently. This isn't about one player chasing history, it's about an entire football nation trying to prove that 2022 wasn't a fluke. That 4 years of building something real gave them a team that belongs on this stage over and over, not just once. Here's the gap that might decide this game. France plays like a team that expects to win. Morocco plays like a team with nothing left to lose. Expectation can turn into pressure. Freedom can turn into fearlessness.
Yeah, they'll continue to do what they have been doing, which is playing with no fear. Morocco see themselves on the same level.
Which one wins out under the lights on Thursday is anyone's guess. France remain favourites, and rightly so. But Morocco has already knocked out bigger names than people give them credit for beating. Nobody serious in world football is ruling this out as a genuine shock. However this plays out, one thing's already certain by kickoff: talent alone doesn't win this one. Only the team that handles the moment walks away still chasing chasing the trophy. Subscribe for the reaction, breaking down exactly what happens the second the whistle blows. And drop your score prediction in the comments before kickoff.